Welcome to Maynooth, Ontario. I'm Joyce Dale. Today I'm going to show you how to make a birthday cake of veggie pies. It's a recipe that I've perfected over the years, and all I can say is, let's get busy. The secret to it is butter, cream cheese, flour, and salt. Those are the only ingredients, and you make it in a food processor. There's nothing fancy about this. Flour, a little bit of salt, some butter. And once that's all mixed in, you can put in a little bit of your cream cheese to start with, and then we'll put the rest in through the feeding tube. And it's going to sound like your food processor's working overtime, but it isn't really. It's going to rock and roll a bit. And that's the stage you want, when it looks like that. A little bit of flour on your board. Watch the blade, very sharp. Just dump it out. Squeeze it all together. This defies everything you've ever learned about pastry. Warm hands, warm board, keeping it cold. And then you cut it into 2/3 and 1/3. Make it into a disc, wrap it up in plastic, put it in your fridge. You need to refrigerate it for 15 to 20 minutes before you roll it out. And you can use this pastry not only for vegetables, you can use it for fruit. I've made it with apples and rhubarb and berries. People come into the kitchen and see me rolling this out and say, "Oh, you must have been making pastry for years." See how flexible this dough is? You can even stretch it by hand. And you can get it really quite thin. And for the flavoring, we have what's known in the cooking industry as a gremolata. It's usually made with a combination of fresh herbs, but living in Northern Ontario and rural Ontario, you can't always get fresh herbs. So over the years, I've figured out to use frozen spinach. Just make sure you drain it and squeeze it till it's very dry. And it's a combination of fresh garlic, lots of garlic, and fresh lemon. And you just take your lemon after it's well washed and just grate your peel in. If you'd like to, you can add a small diced onion or any other kind of flavorings that you have in your cupboard. And this just gets mixed up. And you can add some salt and pepper. Remember to grease your pan. This is a springform pan. So into the pan it goes. Push it up on your sides. And with anything you're making, a little bit of breadcrumb on the bottom to absorb any moisture so the bottom crust doesn't get soggy. For dessert, I'll use vanilla crumbs or graham wafers or something like that. You can get as fancy with this or as rustic as you like, because it all just seems to layer and come out like a birthday cake. Of course, the roasted red peppers, I roasted them on the barbecue last night. The first time I made this dish, I put everything in raw because it has to cook for an hour, and I was convinced that everything would be cooked, but it wasn't. So now I par cook everything until it's fork tender. I never cook my zucchini because it'll just go to mush. The secret I've learned over the years is to slice them thin, salt them, and let them sit in a colander, wipe them off, and then put them into your pie. All these lovely little green flecks. Spinach on the board, it doesn't matter, it just adds to the dish. And really compact it. And then put your disc on top. And this goes into a 350-degree oven, bakes for a full hour. Let it sit for 10 minutes. You pop your ring off. You'll see what I mean. And there it is. All your layers. And you plate it. And it's yours to enjoy.